Today we are in fashionable Soho, where we are meeting Joseph Oliver, the founder of Bash Creations. Bash Creations are passionate about greening the entertainment sector. Eco-entertainment, which is a term that has been coined. You may not like it, I don't really care. Just tell us what's your understanding of it and what does it really mean?
Well, the first time I think eco-entertainment was used was like in 2004 or 5 or something in a newspaper article. Eco-entertainment, in my concept, is really about providing entertainment in an environmental way. Bash Creations was started with a mandate to lighten the ecological load of the entertainment industry within the UK. Something we recorded. I mean, I don't know if we changed the whole industry, but we definitely inspired lots of people to go off and do their own projects. And also, since that Bash has started, there's been numerous other companies that have seen its work, seen that we made a success of it, have started up themselves. Internationally, there's now organisations across the world which are doing eco-entertainment or have taken the idea of mainstream environmental awareness into a realm which is not about worthiness, not about kind of, let's say, traditional environmental movements, but more about actual just normality, making sustainable normal and making it accessible to young people, to people who like to go out and enjoy themselves as well.
Okay, so why is sustainability so important to you?
Well, sustainability is just inherent in the need to marriage what we're seeing in the world in terms of growth and population and resource use with decent living and happiness and fulfillment. And for me, it's a kind of no-brainer. It's like an equation. It's like this plus this equals actually a more positive way for us to move forwards in our lifestyles. Actually, it should just be normal. You have a pint in a pub with a friend and it's the normal situation. However, some reason, the supply chain, the pub itself, the beer, every aspect, maybe the clothes you're wearing, have naturally been looked at in terms of the impacts and have been made sustainable. That's the ideal, future.
To the pioneers, what would you say really drives you? What are you really passionate about?
I like adventure. I like waking up and doing different new things every day. I find monotony, repetition and security kind of restrictive, and I find bringing new ideas to the table and working on those and then finding myself in unexpected situations a passion. It's an amazing experience to be able to do something different every day. What
was it like when you first started out?
Well, I looked at the industry and I thought, why isn't there anyone doing basically ethical entertainment or entertainment done with environmental principles, rather than the message, more about how people actually produce it. And I looked around, I couldn't find anyone who'd been doing kind of entertainment production with that. And so Bash was at the time definitely within the UK the first kind of entertainment company to do that, which involved media and events and PR kind of mixed in together. Obviously, initial challenges were the fact that no one had done this, so there was no precedent, there was no benchmark. The guidelines that have been introduced in the last few years, so British Standard for Sustainable Events, the Mayor's Guidelines for theatre, for art, for music, they've only just come about, and at the time there was no roadmap, if you will.
5 years down the line, what advice do you wish somebody had told you when you first started that you know now?
I think probably a great piece of advice would be to really understand what you can't do.
Okay.
And then you can work with people who can do that. At the beginning I thought, I can do everything. And in a certain sense you can do everything, but you can't dedicate yourself fully to everything and you can't do it well. Immediately I should have got in a financial wizard rather than trying to piece it all together and learn about it. Although now I know, but it's just about scalability and about growth. And sometimes if you grow very quickly and you haven't put in the processes or the structures at the beginning, you find yourself with a whole new bag of trouble, which you then have to go back and sort it all out again.
Okay, so definitely having that structure in place.
Yeah, a little bit more planning.
What were the barriers or challenges that you faced, obviously being a new company or getting people to understand that sustainability shouldn't be an add-on, it should be a core part of what you do? What were the challenges that you faced doing that?
There were many challenges. So, for instance, data. None of that.
Your clients?
Case studies. Well, yeah, people would say, why is this important? And it'd be like, well, it's important because of all these kind of value-driven reasons.
Yeah.
And then they say, what's the ROI on it? How much does it cost? And it's like, actually, we don't know.
Yeah.
But what I was prepared to do was price match everything.
Okay.
So I said, well, this is what you'd normally pay. And so I will absorb the costs in this at the beginning, just because we needed to get case studies, we needed to get things happening.
Given the journey you've had so far, what does the future hold for you and for Bash Creations?
So Bash Creations, I think, is actually now in my past.
Okay.
It's a question of moving upwards and onwards from that. There were limitations. I mean, it was an inspirational tool and definitely a stepping stone in my understanding of what is needed for people's fulfillment in life through this medium. But my next step is working with a couple co-partners in China to start a company called Impact. China is very, very important right now because it is going to drive the change that we're going to see in the next 15 years across the world. It's going to change the balances of East versus West. It's going to change economic balances, and also has it's a huge emitter of CO2 and environmental impacts. Currently, in fact, it's the world's largest. No one's doing eco-entertainment in China. It was new in England 4 years ago. It's still new, but to take that understanding and to work with people in China and to make those bridges, I think it's going to have a huge positive impact. And that's the key for me is where in the world is actually the natural place for it right now.
For those watching this, there's going to be a curiosity as to where they can go to find out about pointers on eco-entertainment and sustainability within the entertainment business. What kind of touch points would you give them?
Well, super plug, obviously, my website,
Which is?
So www.joetoliver.com.
Okay.
And it's very easy to get in touch with me. My email's up on there. Then there is probably, I would say, in terms of best practice, you're looking at Julie's Bicycle. Just type in Julie's Bicycle, you'll find it. That's got a wide range that they've been working on the UK market. They've done some work in America. They're probably going to expand further into America and also in Europe. So they're working on not just English-based, but international concepts. If you look at Good.is, Good Magazine, they just do the coolest infographics that you can ever imagine. So they give you real facts in a completely creative and inspiring way. It's fantastic.
What I'd like you to leave us with are some key golden tips that you'd love for any pioneers who are watching who'd love to run a business like Bash or Impact. What guidance would you give them, even if it's just 3 simple gems?
Top tips.
Yes.
I would definitely say try and plan it a little bit first. I mean, I didn't do any planning. I just went and did it. You can do it that way. It's just it'll be more difficult, and that means business plan, financial planning, marketing strategy, and getting your ducks in order, as they say. Never forget who you are, why you're doing it, and what you want.
Okay.
And that's very, 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 very important, because if you don't know what your levels of success are, you don't know where is it success 100 people on your Facebook page, or is it 1,000, or is it 10,000? If you don't know where those limits are, where those benchmarks are, and what time you want them to happen, you'll never know when you're happy. Yeah. You'll never know when you've made a success. And that's a huge, people get very successful, very wealthy, and very famous, and they're still incredibly unhappy. And the reason is they never actually said, what will make me happy? Yeah. And it's not going to be the money or the success. It's going to be challenging yourself to achieve new levels of development and understanding of yourself and the world. The third thing I'd suggest is make sure that you don't do something which, although you think is a good idea, won't necessarily fulfill you. So it's incredibly important to say, what is it I really enjoy about my life? What is it that I want to make into my job and into my business? Because you can sell grapes by the bucket load, but if you're not inherently in your blood a grape seller, then why on earth would you do it? Yeah. Just because it's a business opportunity, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So do what you love, and your passion will show through. you do some planning, and then you'll also understand when you're successful. And I think you've got a magic formula there, because I don't see how people can stop you. You have an aim, you have a volition, and you have a plan of action to get there.
Okay. Well, it's been brilliant. Thank you very much. I've learned a heck of a lot. I'm sure the pioneers will be definitely inspired by your story as well. So thanks very much, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When running an eco-entertainment company, ensure that you deliver at industry standards, regardless of your emphasis on sustainability. Sustainability can be applied to every part of your supply chain, so always look at the bigger picture. Sustainability must be fundamental to your company's culture.
Thank you for watching. We'd like you to post a video response with your thoughts and opinions on virginmediapioneers.com.